What's up guys, Ben here with another video on this channel, FilmFanatic. Today we're going to be counting down the top 5 films from the 80s. Coming in at number 5 on my list is The Goonies. The Goonies was released in 1985 and focuses around 7 friends who, in a desperate attempt to save their housing estate, goes in search for secret, hidden treasure hidden by a pirate many years ago. In the main characters Loft and Mikey, they find this old treasure map that their dad got from a museum. Now on this map, it's the treasure hidden by One-Eyed Willie the pirate. But like all good treasure hunt movies, there's more than one party trying to find the treasure. The other is an American-Italian family also on the hunt for the treasure after they find out that it is buried actually under their shack.
How long are you going to put in that window?
Long enough to see you need about 400 roach motels in this place.
Okay.
Now this movie is a great mix of adventure and comedy. It mixes them both very well. There's many moments of comedy, but the whole film is just a really good family adventure movie and I would definitely recommend it. 4 on my list guys, we're going with Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. The film focuses on Jack Torrance and his family who hotel sit over the winter in this very desolate place in America. Jack Torrance is a struggling writer and so thinks that if him and his family go and sit in this big empty hotel all winter, it will help him have peace and quiet to write his novel. Little does he know there's a lot more twists to it. Now at first Jack Torrance seems like a regular guy, you know, there's nothing crazy about him, but as the film goes on, as it progresses, you can see him turning rather insane. Now I'm not going to tell you the storyline to The Shining as it pretty much gives away the whole point of the film. You'd really need to go and watch it, but there is some almighty twists and turns and it is of course a horror. Now The Shining isn't necessarily a scary horror, you know, it's not one of those ones where, you know, you hide behind sheets and that. It's more of a psychological horror. Don't get me wrong, there are some jump scares, but the majority of it is psychological horror. It really messes with your head. There's so many great twists and turns going on in it. As far as 80s films go, it's one of my favourites. Now Jack Nicholson takes a leading role, although he wasn't the first choice. Stephen King wanted so many other actors. He said Jack Nicholson was one of his last choices because Jack Nicholson, he said, can play a great person who is insane, but he wanted an actor to show that he is normal and the process of becoming how insane his character does. Now, he didn't like Jack Nicholson at first, but once the film's done, it got a huge cult following and it has been listed number 5 in the top 5 horror movies. That is why The Shining is number 4 on my list. For number 3 on my list guys, we are going with Rocky 4. Now Rocky 4 is a cult 80s movie. If you've seen any 80s movies or you're born in the 80s or whatever, you have seen a Rocky film. But if you're one of those people who hasn't, let me just set the story. Rocky Balboa is a wannabe boxer and in the first movie he luckily gets his chance against the world champion. I'm not going to ruin the stories of it because they really are one of those films you want to watch and I really want you guys to watch these films, I recommend. But for Rocky 4, Rocky goes to Russia to fight this big kind of over buff Russian fighter called Drago. After Drago sadly kills Rocky's trainer Apollo Creed in a charity boxing fight, Rocky makes it his mission to go and fight back and fight Drago and win. And so there is one of the most epic moments in movie history, the Rocky 4 training montage. So Rocky goes and fights Drago in Russia. I'm not going to reveal the result, but as you can probably tell by the movie poster released for Rocky 4, it goes pretty well. Stallone obviously once again stepped up to star, write and direct this film as he did for the first 3, not directing the first one, but he did step up to the plate once again and he definitely delivered. If you haven't seen any of the Rockies, definitely go and watch it please. They're some of the best 80s movies ever made, some of the best sporting movies I'd say ever made, and so I would recommend Rocky 4 for number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2 on my list, guys, we're going with Back to the Future Part 1. When was Back to the Future released? Released in 1985, Back to the Future focuses around Marty McFly, a teenager in the 80s who finds out that his friend, a scientist, has created a time machine out of a DeLorean.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
After getting accidentally sent back to 1955 America, Marty McFly must make his mum and dad meet and fall in love so that he can have a future. During this process, his mother ends up falling in love with him. Yeah. So he must somehow get his mum and his dad together so that he can live on in the future. It sounds a lot more complicated than it is. Back to the Future is a huge film worldwide. It's got a huge franchise that is obviously 3 parts in total, but Back to the Future Part 1 is my favourite. Like the other films I mentioned in this list, guys, Back to the Future has such a huge cult following, and to this day is still a very, very popular 80s movie. It does in fact have a great cast. Michael J. Fox coming in as Marty McFly. What's his name? Christopher Lloyd. Have a great cast. Michael J. Fox coming in as Marty McFly, Christopher Lloyd coming in as Dr. Emmett Brown, and it's just a great cast. It looked like a movie that was a lot of fun to make, a lot of fun to write, and I would definitely recommend Back to the Future if you haven't seen it already. This brings me to the end of my list, guys, and brings us to our number 1 80s film, and it is in fact Stand By Me. Released in 1986, guys, Stand By Me does in fact focus once again on a Stephen King novel. He was very successful in the 80s. Stand By Me focuses on 4 friends one summer who go on a search for a dead body. During this search, guys, they encounter bullies, police, a strange guy in a junkyard, and they discover the true meaning of friendship. Aww. Now for some reason these 4 friends are going on a trip to find a dead body. Don't really understand why. I think it was just one of those things that kids do, you know, oh, I heard a rumour that there's a dead body here, do you want to go and see it? And so they go on this massive trek along the forest, train lines, through junkyard as I mentioned, to find this dead body, and when they do, they're encountered with bullies. These bullies are going to take credit for finding the dead body, but instead there's a big ruckus and they leave the dead body where it is and go their separate ways. Now, the movie is told through Gordy's perspective, the main character and one of the 4 friends, played by Will Wheaton. Now that is such a tongue twist. Will Wheaton. The story is told through his perspective when he has grown up, as he's writing a book about this adventure with his friends. Now, at the end of the movie, it shows the 4 friends going their separate ways and tells you what happens to them in the future. Not all of them have a happy ending. But like the other films, I'm not going to tell you the storyline because that'll just ruin the movie. It's so enjoyable, like I said, has a huge cult following, and to this day, I think it's like number 8 or 9 on IMDb's top 10 movies, which is incredible. I mean, Stephen King did such a good job at writing these. As before, it mixes adventure and comedy together very well, much like the Goonies, although Stand By Me takes the baton. Is that a phrase? Stand By Me takes the biscuit. Yes! And that is why Stand By Me is number 1 on my list of top 5 80s movies. If you guys did enjoy this video, please hit the like button below, it really does help my channel out. If you agree or disagree with my choices, leave it in the comment section down below. If you disagree, tell me what your top 5 80s movies would be, I'd be really interested to know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down so you never miss a video, and I'll see you next time, guys. Take care.